Hi, everybody. It's Ray, otherwise known as Life and Vibe. And today I'm doing a slightly different content creator. And the reason being is that this particular individual has got themselves in a little bit of a pickle recently. And it's caused a lot of trending videos. And it's interesting because I personally had come across this content creator in my suggested feed, about 10 or 12 months ago, when he had a video that blew up about Social Security. And I've always been interested in looking at content creators because I, at the time, was having my own channel and was putting out content. And so was always looking to see, why somebody who suddenly went from, talking about their RVs and campers and minimalistic lifestyle, supposedly, and not really having much of a presence, go from like zero to over 60,000 subscribers and a million views in a very short period of time. It's like, what is the content that catches YouTube's algorithm? So I was fascinated because obviously any content creator wants to be able to get that viral video that seems to catch the trending topic at the time. And this particular creator, I think he just happened to hit that sweet spot. So before we get in there, let me just put out a few disclaimers before we show his content. But this story is wild. And those of you who are familiar may have heard of Sarasota Tim and his recent controversy when he was filming one of his multiple YouTube videos, because this gentleman just like puts out 4 or 5 videos a day. It's wild, the amount of content. And it's obviously fueled by the amount of money he has been able to make from being a YouTube content creator and being literally a non-expert, giving out really advice that would potentially impact somebody's life quite greatly. So anyway, let me just put up my fair use here because I don't want Tim to think that let me loop it. Tim is, I'm not trying to take Tim's content. And I do want this to be fair use because I will be using another content creator and I will link their video down below in my description so you can access this. And obviously, Tim doesn't like us. He doesn't like haters. No, he doesn't. Tim does not like a hater. So obviously, we may be roasting Tim because we're going to look at his supposed apology video. And for somebody like myself who is entering the last part of my nurse practitioner program and looking to focus as a psychiatric mental health practitioner, Tim is fascinating me. And obviously, we're not talking about eating disorders, but we are talking about things with Tim around potentially exhibitionism. It's hard to say. Obviously, we're not treating or diagnosing anybody here. This video is only for entertainment and education purposes only, and just as an opportunity to introduce you to Tim here. I don't know if we'll make many more videos, but I know he's fairly controversial at the moment. So anyway, and if you did happen to like any other the topics that I talk about with a generally health related commentary here on YouTube, then please join my community. Subscribe. It helps me out. And Tim knows about that because he's always pushing for 100K. So yeah, Tim somehow just kind of, I'm going to make myself smaller now. Tim just kind of showed up in my YouTube suggested feed. And I was like, okay, who's this guy? Who's this Tim? Who's Tim? Well, Tim, it seemed, was quite the character. He described himself as a full-time RVer and a minimalist living in a 25-foot Flagstaff camper. And I understand that maybe, some of his other past history was, a little bit dubious. We were going through a particular time, and Tim was talking about retiring at 62, collecting his Social Security check. And it just resonated, I think, with a lot of people. A lot of people were just getting, they don't want to wait till 72 for the retirement age. And they certainly, in 67, I mean, so Tim was showing them the golden ticket to how to get out. And as you can see here, he had a video, this collecting Social Security at 62. There is a special rule nobody talks about. Good news, got 2.1 million views. And I don't know if the time he was monetized, it may be potentially during that time he got enough view hours and enough subscribers that he was able to come in, get monetized, and start monetizing from this video. Because there's nothing worse than being a YouTube creator. You don't have enough subs, you haven't been monetized, and then you have a viral video and you're not making any money from it until maybe later on. And then you maybe lost some of it. So he's continued to kind of make this vein of video where he talked about his minimalistic life, on how to live on Social Security, the most important reason. So he really talked as if he were an expert on these topics, got good side hustles for people. I mean, he really, and was getting good views. So obviously around this time, Tim really started to make very good money, and then he started talking about waiting is a scam, but his numbers were wrong often. Like, he was so skewed with his calculations and his numbers. He obviously is not a financial expert. He said he used to sell cars. He was, he's living in an RV at 62. I mean, this is somebody who potentially some of their decisions about finances weren't always necessarily wise, but he got like a cult-like following, and he really went and took it by the reins. So he's got the buy me a coffee in his things. I mean, he was telling about, talking about all the financial stuff. I mean, he really was coming in and giving everybody his, thoughts about everything. He suddenly started to, talk about the fact he quit drinking. He was turning to God. He was doing like Bible readings. I mean, you name it. Tim was out here doing it. And obviously one of the ones that caught me was this one about his health insurance. And obviously, as somebody who works in the healthcare industry and thinking this is an age where you don't want to be caught out with, gapped in between without health insurance, he was kind of taking that risk at one point before he got into his Social Security or his Medicare benefits and took out that. But then he was talking about what he chose. So he really did kind of put himself out here as an expert. Then he had the girlfriend that used to pop along with him, and she luckily got out of this probably toxic relationship. So yeah, that's like, and so obviously he has like I said, 63,000 subs. He is desperately trying to get himself over to 100,000. He talks about it, persistently, about, YouTube not being right. The numbers are wrong. They drop subscribers all the time. He's got, it all going on. But he really, once he tasted that YouTube coin, Tim was all for it. So this guy now, I can let you know, he is like constantly putting out videos, and he's persistently in his car talking. So if you ever thought like some of the Huns were doing it, he does it more. So let's just look at Peaksy right here. Sorry, not this one. Apologize.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
He's always cooking his meat videos too. Sorry about that. Let me show this one. I meant to do wearing you out on the videos today. So let's just hear a little
bit. Hey,
from
everybody,
Tim.
Cowboy Tim. All right, so I just wanted to report into you. I got the other cup of coffee. They certainly obliged me. I didn't think there'd be a problem at all. And I did ask to pay for the order behind me. And the only reason I'm talking about it or saying it is because I made a video earlier talking about it. I've done it many times, and I don't even get a toot on the horn or a wave out the window like, thanks. The one this morning was very, very
So currently, Kim has this persistent cough and so forth. But yeah, you get a gist. Tim, just, and he pops out more content like this than you can imagine. I mean, he is putting out 4 or 5 videos a day. Look at this right here. We have here from yesterday, he put out alone from a day ago. Like, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 videos. And already today, he has out 3 videos. So, he's hoping he can just get milk whatever he can. Now, his views obviously have fallen because Tim had a controversy right here. And so we're actually going to take a look at the video that was compiled that showed where Tim got himself into trouble. So let me get over and share that video. And it's actually from a creator. Sorry, let me get to the right one. Called Darling. And so I'm going to, like I said, leave a link in here. But this video, I think Tim took it down. But we're going to see his apology video about this video in just a second. But this is wild, and it's been trending, obviously, because you'll see.
That truck with the cab over on it. There was a Class C there yesterday. He was there one day, and this guy's been here forever since I've been here. This guy's been here forever since I've been here, and so on and so forth. Again, I have vacancies over here. Nobody, and then I got them behind me.
So Tim has been traveling across the United States. He originally was out in Boynton Beach, Florida. He then grifted his way up the East Coast, getting free hotel stays and restaurant visits, probably telling these folks that were his viewers that he would be giving them promotion on his channel, his big channel that's almost 100K. And he's desperate to get to this 100K too, which reminds me of somebody else we know. But anyway, he starts to, this is May the 18th, so it's fairly recent, and you're just going to think to yourself, how is this person who's been doing YouTube for a while, who is consistently making and uploading content, how did they not think this was just weird and problematic and a little bit strange and voyeuristic? I'm not exhibitionist. I'm not sure. I'm not, like I said, diagnosing or treating Sarasota Tim, but he is very sketchy.
But yesterday, I met Pam and Gary. I'm very naked.
Naked would be, exposure.
I had a reflection. Beautiful black glass refrigerator freezer, which is what I was.
So this is going to be now a compilation of all the times that Sarasota Tim mentions the word reflection and naked. But as you could probably see, Sarasota Tim was filming his RV video from the camper in the morning, door wide open, panning that camera around outside, and he was completely in the buff. And he then panned and managed to catch himself in his very shiny refrigerator, which he is very well aware is extremely reflective, as you'll see in this clips here. And he then didn't see that was a problem. He somehow did not notice and uploaded that video to YouTube, of which obviously people caught this video, and he has since taken the video down. But obviously, this is a gentleman who is 62 years of age, who is supposedly now an experienced YouTuber, and somehow felt that it wasn't a problem to film one of his videos that he does all the time, starkers, as we would say in the UK. So it just makes you think, what about the neighbors if he's just stood there filming? I mean, what would they do if they suddenly woke up and were looking out the blind and they see Tim in the buff with his camera filming. I mean, what would you make of that? I mean, like, you already don't really know who necessarily you're sharing the RV park with, but now you've got the weird guy on his own. He's in the buff and filming. And this guy then comes out and he does such a sad fish on his audience. I mean, he takes no culpability whatsoever. So, anyway, let's finish out the fun a little bit and hear how many times this gentleman seems to use the words, and he's supposedly this Christian guy and always doing his Bible readings and preaching about how everybody else should live their life. And he's doing stuff like this. Seriously, something is not right in my just not diagnosing or treating, but I would be curious to know where the disconnect. And you'll see the supposed video where he addresses the situation, and it really is not an apology. It's wild. All right, tell us a little bit more, Tim.
Naked for we're naked. I'm just trying to get more exposure. He gave us a reflection here in the refrigerator. I have a big fat belly. You know, naked body. You can go naked. Exposure, lemon exposure. If I'm just getting reflection. Reversible refrigerator, huh? I'm fat. I have been naked, a little naked. More exposure. Well, that's a reflection. There's my beautiful refrigerator. Everything's all cleaned and shined with glass cleaner. Fat. A small dick. And naked, like to go naked. A reflection of what you esteem to be. Be a shining light of the world. Let there be more light to expose the darkness. Did you know that?
Hey, Tim, we all think you've exposed your darkness, mate. So I don't know what light you were shining that day, but we saw a little bit too much shine. Do you know what I mean?
The refrigerator does this. Boom. Wait for it. Boom. Either side. Fat that I'm.
Look at how reflective. I mean, you literally could get that thing as your mirror to check your outfit before you head out the door. How was he? He knew, he must have known when he panned that camera. How would he have not been aware that it caught his reflection in the buff? How was he not aware? And then he left it in the video and posted it to YouTube, of which people caught it. And obviously, it's been clipped, mate. It's out there now, as you can see. This isn't coming from his channel because he took that one down.
Been putting on out there naked. That was bitching, man. In the reflection.
We'll expose the refrigerator opens this way and it opens this way. And I'll be fat, a small dick. Tacky. I'm naked, get butt naked for all the exposure. And this has a reversible either way door. This one's going this way right now.
I'm a fat boy.
I'm naked.
You get in there butt naked.
Beautiful refrigerator. I'm in my pajamas still.
So it comes with a warning sign. Yeah.
See, you can see that he's very aware that that camera and that reflection can be seen in that refrigerator. So what was he thinking? It's hilarious. He's just, what is going on? But the apology or the explanation video is even worse.
All right, that's very important.
Yeah.
I was naked, a small dick. I got it in the refrigerator. How many people say refrigerator instead of refrigerator? Refrigerator. That's a lot of words.
Actually, they're not words, Tim. They're just syllables. But that's okay. And anyway, let me get him off. Sorry. Trying to use StreamYard to get this done, and then suddenly something will play in the background. So I apologize, but I did want to bring up his supposed apology. Tim, you're quite aware that refrigerator had a reflection. Oh my goodness. It's just, I don't get it. Anyway, let me go back a little bit. And let's listen to Tim's explanation about the reflection video, better known as the refrigerator image. Let's see if he owns up to just a lack of responsibility. Or is everybody else the problem and a hater? Guess which one? Let's go, Tim. You're wild, mate. More people need to know about you and your and how you are presenting yourself to the public. Because if you had these blinds open like that, I hope that they're not both way windows and that your neighbors are regularly seeing you in the buff. Because that's rude, mate. No wonder nobody wants to be near you in the RV park.
Sarasota Tim, coming to you from inside the sick trailer. I'm not contagious, but I am sick. I got something going on. I've been reading your comments, and your comments are kind of proving.
He always talking about some type of ailment too. He's just as good as the girls. But, you know, he had that eye patch, and he supposedly has a cough now from a casino. And now, you know, other people are like, oh, no, I got a cough like that. So now, you know, all the anecdotal stories, Tim's going to diagnose whatever lurgy he's got. Because, you know, that's how it goes with these experts on YouTube.
That what I've got, a lot of you have. It's some annoying cough. It has got nothing to do with the dust, the desert, the casinos, the smoke, nothing. It's just something. And it's annoying as heck. I can't stand it. But have you seen the latest video of me in my birthday suit? If you haven't seen it, it's a viral video. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, he laughing it off, but I don't think he finds it too funny because I think it's affected his views. And obviously that's what's circulating around. And his audience is, you know, obviously older and probably Christian conservatives because he's always talking about God and reading Bible quotes. So I don't know how they're going to feel. So his views are definitely going down. And apart from that, he posts 1 million videos a day. So it's like, it's definitely posting overkill. That to me is fascinating. I understand he wants to make money, but like he's out posting like Foodie Beauty when she's like really trying to make money. And I've never seen anyone outpost her, but Tim does. Constant. He's like literally vlogging his whole entire life.
I made a video the other morning, and in passing, I went like this.
Yeah.
Just that quick in front of my refrigerator, my birthday suit. It was unintentional. It was a mistake. And actually, the video went up. I didn't even know about it. And the AI at YouTube had no problem with it whatsoever because it didn't reveal anything. It was a pure, undescribable, undetectable, unlegible, whatever imagery of me and my birthday suit. Nonetheless, I got wind.
Yeah, but why are you filming things that you know you're going to post that's supposed to be part of your job in your birthday suit? Who sits there? I mean, there have been people caught, okay, on like during the pandemic. A lot of people were getting caught with a lot of things going on that they did not want people finding out or seeing. And some reason they were still doing these things despite a camera being on. So where's the disconnect? If you cannot understand that you have a reflective image maker right there in that refrigerator and you are panning a camera while you are in the buff, making your supposed morning vlog and sharing your coffee with your Christian conservative viewers, how is that going to go over? And the fact that that's like how you felt comfortable filming has a whole other component I don't quite understand. And I don't think Tim is going to give us the reasons. But let him keep telling us how we're all haters now.
End of it from some subscribers. And so I took the video and I tried to edit that 1 second out and put the video back up because it had some important information about the amenities here at Riverside RV Park, about the shower house that I videoed. It was very good. I've been showing and talking about all the wonderful things they have here at Riverside, and that was just going to be an addition. So that morning I was getting ready to get a shower in my place, and before I got my shower, I got undressed.
No, Get your shower done and then do your filming. So this is not even a very good explanation because it's just, what were you thinking? I still, it still is not a good explanation. Still trying to figure out, why would you film something in the buff and showing supposedly the parking lot where your neighbors are? So you're stood at the door? Stalkers, mate. What about the rest of the people sharing the RV park with you? Have you considered them too? And the people who unwittingly got to see some of you, Tim? Or is that part of what your thrill is? I'm just asking. I don't know.
And then I decided to look out the window, check out the weather or whatever. And I made a clip, and I was talking about a couple of different things. And then as I was talking, I said, you know what? I'll get dressed and I'll go over there and take a shower and video the shower inside, because I walked into it the other day with my little room card, and I looked at it on the way to the pool out of curiosity. And most of them are kind of, at RV campgrounds. This one is beautiful. I mean, it was nice, super, super clean. And you guys know I shower at Planet Fitness in my gym all the time. And so I thought, hey, if someone comes here in an RV and the wife or husband is using the restroom and the other needs to use the restroom, there's a nice restroom. If one's in the shower and they want to shower at the same time, I can show.
Are you convinced with Tim's explanation as to why he needed to be in the buff when he filmed the video? I'm not convinced, but let him continue about this very convoluted story about needing to film a shower for content. Still doesn't explain how you were dressed, undressed, dressed. What's going on?
Show them that there's another shower right over here that's very nice. One can be using their coach and one can go over there. Maybe you have an RV and you don't like using your shower. It's too small. It doesn't work right. There's a problem with it. Whatever. This will be a review. So I made the video. I put it up. And then, like I said, I learned that there was a brief moment of me when I moved my camera by catching me with no clothes on. But it was nothing that really needed to be taken down, to be honest with you. But I just worried about what our friends out there like to do, our good friends.
No, it needs to be taken down, Tim, because it's not appropriate to have a content creator pan his refrigerator and we see a reflection of your buff self. That's not appropriate. And that you have no understanding how you as a grown man, having even been filming that in the first place in that state of undress, is highly concerning.
Those other channels, they're such nice people. And I said, well, all right, let me take it down. I'll just take that part out and I'll put it back up. But it wouldn't upload. It was caught in the, what do you call the space, the cloud. And I had it on HD. That was before I switched over to start recording in 720, lower resolution. And it just would not go back up because there was another splice in it. Seemed like the more clips I put together, the lower.
This just sounds like a lot of excuses and not really trying to explain that he's not very bright in thinking that filming something in a state of undress and then knowing you have reflective surfaces in your home and then just posting it without even double checking and still not seeing how the content is not appropriate for the channel that he has and for YouTube's terms of service is and just your holier than thou image you like to give out to people. It's kind of contradictory, Tim. So I just think time for reflection.
Longer videos take to upload. I just got impatient and hit delete. So it got 3,000 views. Some people saw it. About 3 people said something about seeing me in my refrigerator reflection. But then now they want to tell the world. So I don't want to say anything
because that just gives you curiosity to want to give them clicks. So I didn't say anything.
Well, unfortunately, Tim, people have been sort of watching you and realizing that you're kind of problematic. You give really bad advice. You don't have the expertise to be giving people advice about Social Security, finances, health insurance choices in Medicare age, and yet you have profited enormously off of these things. You try to sell one rhetoric about yourself and a narrative, and in reality, there's things that are known about yourself that contradict the image that you like to portray yourself on YouTube. But a lot of times you also slip up and you say some really unpleasant things about people who work, especially in the retail industry. You have you're very opinionated. And when you are somebody who is very opinionated and then you make this type of mistake, I promise you, you're gonna, this is why you have to be careful what content you put out, even a simple video. But still, it begs the question, why was your door open to the RV in the first place? You were obviously in the buff. You were filming outside because then you panned around to that refrigerator. So why were your neighbors in the RV park having to see you in your birthday suit? Keep trying to not make an apology, Tim.
I just took the video down. But now I'm thinking about it, and I think about how a woman would feel, or even a man, if they were put up on the internet and shown in a vulgar way, and it wasn't anything they did or tried to do, wasn't any bad act that they were caught in. I mean, I didn't get up here and dance around in the reflection of my refrigerator. It was just a passing of.
Yeah, but it's a certain amount of exhibitionism because most of us wouldn't feel comfortable just filming things for our YouTube channel, stalkers in the buff, and then filming out into a parking lot. So you have a certain amount of potential exhibitionism in there somehow. And you're trying to, explain it away. But I think you're actually making the situation a little worse, in my opinion. And this is just my opinion only.
Of the phone, boom. And they want to sit and make something ugly out of it and try to defame me and try to put two things together that don't go together, which is a non.
Did you think about the people who may be upset having seen that reflection in your video unexpectedly? Did you you're talking about people making you vulgar, but did you think about it being vulgar on your end by posting something where you didn't even realize you had that type of content, and how other people who are unsuspecting and unwitting might feel when they see it? I don't think so. So you need to kind of take it and reflect both ways, Tim. And this is the problem why you're not very good. And this you might end up burning down your channel like this. Just be aware.
Sequitur. Look it up if you don't know what that means. And so I just wanted to answer that right now. So if you see it or hear about it or you're curious to whatever, I don't want you to go look at it because there's nothing there to see. But here's what I wanted to tell you, really. I've deleted every comment. It made me so mad that someone would try to. I mean, I've been mad at them since they've been attacking me. So don't think you just got to me. I couldn't stand you 6 months ago. But I don't.
Look, that's just part of the YouTube territory. I get hate comments too, telling me my accent's strange and I sound drunk and, I look like a drug addict, when I've been sick for a month. We all get it. Okay. If you don't have tough skin coming in, if it's just trolling, then but you're going to have to get tough skin, mate, especially after putting out something like that. What do you expect people to say? You put yourself as somebody's, leading Christian Bible readings, and then you're filming in the buff. Seems very contradictory, I think, for people. I think you need to reflect on that. The best word I have for you, Tim.
Worry about you because you're not bothering me in the respect of affecting me in my life.
I don't pay you any attention. But when I've got my subscribers that look at me in a certain way and they're trying to be influenced by some lie about something.
It's not a lie because you put that out there all by yourself, mate. And there's no way to call a lie what we can see as the truth. And somehow you felt comfortable recording your professional content for your audience in your birthday suit. And knowing you were in your birthday suit before you even uploaded it, you don't even take the time to check your film or know what you're uploading. You produce so much that you're trying to get this audience, obviously, to watch so you can get the views and the AdSense and the coffees. And I'm sure, I don't know if you have memberships, I'm not sure, but your financial gain, basically. Because all of us who are monetized channels, and I am one too, hope that our videos will do well and we'll get a good response. And as a reward to that, we'll make some money from it. But most of the time we do this content because we're laughing at people like you, Tim. I don't mean to because I'm a professional, but you're really not taking responsibility. And at 62 years old of age, you should be out here telling your audience or telling anybody that at 62 years of age, I should have known better. I should have known that trying to film something and not being fully dressed and picking up a camera was a bad idea. I neglected to think about the people in the RV park who may see me filming while I was not dressed. I didn't think about the fact I had a massive refrigerator that I was well aware of with a reflective surface that might pick me up as I panned across. How you didn't notice yourself as you went across that refrigerator and didn't see it. Just says, what are you? You're obviously so self-absorbed with whatever you're doing. You can't even notice that. And then you unleashed it on your subscribers, mate. And so you need to reflect and actually take some responsibility in where you made a mistake. But no, it's everybody else's fault. Everybody else is the hater. Nobody else is, everyone else is. And the reason why you're upset is because you don't want to lose subscribers, you don't want to lose views, and you want to get to 100K. And so this you feel is going to affect that. But maybe you should have taken a little bit better of time actually writing a better, sitting down and thinking about how to genuinely apologize for the mistake you made rather than getting upset because people are now going to call you out on it more than ever because you're not taking any type of responsibility. So now it's open season on Tim, Hang. Bless your heart, mate. Be prepared.
Or in an ugly, vulgar way. I don't want that. So I have to mention it, even if it gives them a view because you're curious. But folks, if you want to do anything, here's what you can do. If you're curious, you can go on that channel, all of those channels. There's several of them. And you can look for the 3 dots. So you don't know what the 3 dots are? Ask somebody that knows anything about YouTube about how to change your feed, your suggested videos, how to switch YouTube's AI from recommending you these channels. It's a very simple thing. All you do is you press the 3 dots.
Oh, so basically Tim is trying to make sure that his audience blocks any discussion around what Tim has done is not very good behavior. And this just, somebody who is entering into the field of psychiatric mental health, I find it fascinating to see how he's trying to manipulate his audience and stop them from, obviously seeing content that he doesn't want them to see because he needs to keep these subscribers. It's very, very interesting to see this in action and how he's trying to teach people so they wouldn't find my content or my thoughts about why a 62-year-old man should be apologizing to a greater community and feeling a little bit embarrassed. And he probably is embarrassed, which is probably why he's acting in this reactive way. But that's not the really good PR way to go about it if you want to maintain your audience or maintain your reputation and own up to the mistake rather than blaming everybody else now because of the mistake you made and you're making it worse. in my opinion.
If you have a TV you watch me on, you can press the play button when you click on one of those garbage channels and hold it for a second. And a menu should come up that says, do not recommend this channel.
Well, I thank you for calling me garbage. I actually am a licensed registered nurse, and I do have over a year of postgraduate studies towards becoming a nurse practitioner. So I hopefully come with thinking, in a broader sense, how this is affecting society in a larger picture, especially when people talk about health or start to do things with manipulation, especially with social media. It's becoming quite fascinating. So to say that that's who we are is really, again, this is some type of cult that you're trying to, the cult of Tim, because you're acting kind of like a cult leader, Tim. You're trying to restrict what your subscribers get to have as their sources of information. I don't think that's right.
Not the one that says not interested in that video, because that means they'll just give you the next one of their channel. You want to get rid of the channel. So you say, do not recommend this channel. If you watch someone dig a hole or someone build a fence on YouTube.
Are you trying to teach your own subscribers how to get rid of you now that they realize that you're gaslighting, manipulating individual who will show up in the buff and then go and try to preach Christian religious teachings? I mean, maybe that's a good idea, everybody. Hit the 3 buttons and say not interested or whatever to Tim.
YouTube is going to send you all these videos about how to build a fence or dig in a hole, because they want you to watch videos that have advertisements in them called Google AdSense. And when you watch those, you're watching those advertisers that pay Google for those advertisements, and you might buy those products. And therefore, Google makes money, and the person that made the video is going to make money. And that's really the bottom line that these people have. I mean, the ones that are just hating to hate, they don't even have a monetized channel.
My channel's monetized. I'm not a hater. I am a reactor. I look at health in social media. And in my respect, this is kind of touching into mental health, because we could be dealing with somebody with potentially exhibitionistic disorders going on. I don't know. I don't know if what is going through Tim's mind when he is in his birthday suit and filming his YouTube content. It seems unusual. Obviously, I'm watching how he is responding to obviously some of the attention that has now come his way from doing such a kind of a taboo thing on YouTube, especially with the type of image he tries to portray. So you're a fascinating character, Tim, but you definitely do have some problematic behaviors, and it's reflecting in how you're trying to manipulate people and telling them that they shouldn't watch other people because then it would affect his subscriber count and his YouTube Google AdSense, because he does not want his views dropping. He wants his, he doesn't want to lose the money. He's been able to not have to work at a store as serving samples while he subsidizes his Social Security benefits living in a camper van at somewhere. I mean, that's pretty much what was going on until his YouTube videos blew up. And then suddenly he's buying an RV. He's traveling across the country. He's thinking about buying a house. I mean, his whole sort of minimalistic, all of these things, once he started to make Google AdSense money and I saw the number of people sending him, buy him a coffee and this, that, and another. After a while, these folks, and he was a car salesman. He's definitely going to try to get that patter going, All right, Tim, keep going.
That are just jumping on the bandwagon. They're just downright mental or something, because they don't even make any money. But the ones that are really, the ones that are, they every time something comes out,
boom, video. They are trying one thing, folks. They don't even know me. They have one goal and one goal.
The funny thing is, Tim, I didn't know this got like this because I had been watching you, but I hadn't really watched you for some time because I've been concentrating on my own channel and really there's nothing to learn. I just realized that you're another individual who somehow managed to get himself a following, get a lot of views, start making very good money, and really have no expertise in your subject matter, which always fascinates me why people want to listen to people with no expertise and no professionalism. And then they come out and do something wild like show a buck naked in a YouTube video. It's just wrong, Tim. It's wrong.
Only. And that is to become monetized, get you to enjoy watching hate, and like the people that just sit there all day and watch CNN and Fox and Desperate Housewives and all those shows that go beep, 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 or any of that nastiness out there that's not worth even looking at because your brain and your mind is not a garbage can. But folks, if you want to get rid of it, simply look for the 3 dots. Ask someone to show you how to get rid of these channels. And reporting doesn't do any good. That's not going to do anything. They're still going to show up.
Oh, he wants to report people. Well, unfortunately, Tim, I'm using this for education and fair use purposes. So unfortunately, you're not going to be able to report me. And I was finding it fascinating because, as I said, I've always trying to follow people who, and you've given some really bad health advice out there. Okay. And I kind of let it slide because I had other creators I was focusing on. And I do try to call out smaller creators like yourself who aren't really known to my audience, but necessarily they're not interested, maybe don't watch the videos. Somebody might not even watch this video, but it's interesting to me to see how you kind of built up your YouTube videos in your career. And then you're talking about, not wanting to have all this content. You put out content constantly. It's all you do is you put out like 6 videos yesterday. I mean, how can your audience escape from watching anything but you? You put out so much content. I think they're even getting bored of it because your numbers are down to nothing. 1,000 views for this and 1,000 views to that. So you're trying to put out more and more because you can't capture that 2.1 million anymore. Because I think people started to realize you have no expertise in Social Security. And all the people who were just wanting to quit their jobs a year ago because they were just fed up with everything. Well, that trend's kind of come to an end. And people are having to realize that things are expensive and they're having to go back to work. So, they're not able just to, think about Social Security and subsidizing with a sample job at Costco or Publix or wherever it was you were working. They need to actually have real, tangible money being made. And you just don't want your monetization to be, because then you'll be back down to being really back onto Social Security. And you won't be living this high life that you've been living now, or the dreams of purchasing a home, all these things that you suddenly want to achieve now at 62 that you hadn't achieved up to 62 because you weren't a homeowner. And yet you were giving all this financial advice. You were just like the everyday man. All right, Tim, I know you're getting upset because you're losing your coin.
And they could care less. Report all you want. I don't think Google does anything. They don't care. As long as they're selling ad space, they really don't care. But if your mind's not a garbage can and you're not interested in listening to lies and deceit, look for the 3 dots. Get rid of those channels.
It's not lies and deceit when there's actual video evidence of what you did, which is think it was okay to make your YouTube video completely in the buff. I don't know how many times I have to say this. Take responsibility and apologize for being just not very bright that day. But you're making it worse, mate. I promise you. Because you're not managing it or handling it like an adult. And obviously, we can tell you're scared about your income. Obviously. I understand, but you should have been thinking about that before you really, and you release a lot of problematic other things too, Tim. It's not just this. This is a culmination of many things, sweetheart.
If you, in my comment section, tell me, which I already know, you don't have to tell me, Never again do you have to ever mention, any of you, have you seen, did you know? Because anything that alludes to create the curiosity of someone else in my community reading your comment and say, what are they talking about? Let me go over and look. You're going to be deleted. You're going to be blocked. So if you like to comment on my channel.
He used to have Miss Tammy go through all his comments, you know, and try to do all that. This is probably unpaid secretary. Tim, like I said, you either switch the comments off and you just forego that engagement, or, you know, you're going to have to hold for review, I guess. So I don't know, but coming out here and talking about how you're deleting comments and stuff, that's not a way to make an audience grow or get love on YouTube, sweetheart. You just have to take it. We all get them. I promise you, I get them all the time too.
And you like me.
I'll get one for this.
I know you don't mean any harm, but you don't understand. You're influencing others. If I told you don't think of a pink elephant, what are you going to do? So if you write a comment, hey, Tim, did you see that latest one that they're said about this or that? And all these thousands of people read your comment. I don't want them going over there looking at that. I don't want their brains destroyed. I'm not worried about them finding out anything because there's nothing to find out. It's nothing but lies. And all you do is visit one time and know it's a lie.
Yeah, I wonder what Tammy's daughters feel about that. Yeah, I understand you had to take down every video that you had tried to strong arm and film your way into Tammy's daughter's home, because her daughter is very comfortable with her husband in Florida. And Tim, you know, was hoping that he could get a little piece of that too. But unfortunately, you know, they weren't going to allow you in. Even with Miss Tammy having her own little suite over there, they weren't going to let you in, Tim. Absolutely not, sir. They know what you're up to. This is the sort of guy who definitely, you know, is looking for like a sugar mama. So just, ladies, beware of Tim, especially if he starts losing his YouTube coin. He's going to be hitting up the ladies in the comment section. You've been warned. If he starts asking you about what you do for a living or any of your assets, don't let him know.
And now the opposite is true too.
Allegedly.
Those people that make these hate channels, that get people for some reason to look at it by just luck, and they don't even know who I am, and they hear them, they're like, what is?
Like, you had some luck, Tim, when people found that Social Security video of yours and it somehow popped up the YouTube algorithm? Because that's how you got lucky, sir. Because before that, you were a channel with barely any subscribers talking about your RV and something, and maybe moving to Boynton Beach or something. But you had nothing going on. And then you put out that one video. You caught, like I said, a moment in time when people were just tired of everything that had been going on and just wanted out of the madness. So a lot of people were taking early retirement. So you just happened to catch that train, and that train's now gone because, you know, reality is set in. So people are returning back to work. So maybe that needs to be your next video, but you still want to be popping out 20 videos a day and getting YouTube coin. All right, Tim, tell us about how we're all haters and how your audience needs to, you know, hit the 3 dots.
What is this guy? Let me check him out. What are they talking about? And they come over here and they see none of that. And they're like, well, these people are just hateful. And they stay here and they never go back to that other side of the fence, and they never watch them again. So in that respect, I gained a subscriber and a person to the community that can enjoy the content that I try to put out there for everybody. But I don't care to.
If you like Tim just talking about nothing as he gets a cup of coffee in his truck in the morning, then you'll be all go. You're gonna hear about him doing a cowboy steak. He's gonna go to the Planet Fitness. You know, you'll just be taken through Tim's day. It's you know, and as he makes more money, you'll get to see the things that he adds to his lifestyle that you're supporting. So thank you for your patronage.
Solicit subscribers that way. I don't want them that way. If it helps them in any way, I'll sacrifice that. I'll get my own subscribers through my own work through my own content and my own creativity. I don't want anything from them, but they want a lot from me. They want everything they got from somebody else because they're not willing to work for anything. Folks, you have to understand these people are mental.
Work for anything. This guy just comes out here and literally in his buff films a video and tries to upload it and hopes he gets 7,000 or 8,000 views and does that 6 times a day. So he's getting 40 or 50,000 views so that he's actually by the end of the day making decent money. And then hopefully somebody will, send him a cup of coffee and he can meet one of his channel subscribers with a business along the way and probably comp something free. I mean, this guy's on a massive grift. What can we say? He just got lucky and now he doesn't offer anything. He's got no expertise. He does RVing now, I guess. Whatever.
These people have got serious issues. And the best thing you can do is look for those 3 dots. Help me out. Check out to make sure you're actually subscribed to my channel. A lot of people find themselves unsubscribed and keep finding themselves unsubscribed after they resubscribe. And it's not just me and it's not them doing it. It's something going on with YouTube. I don't understand it, but other YouTubers are complaining about it too. And I'm trying to get to 100,000 subscribers so I can get my big time plaque.
Oh.
And make sure I can put that right behind.
Yeah, that big time plaque. That 100K plaque that, for whatever reason, the golden ticket to the big Google AdSense or the sponsorship deals. I guess he thinks once he gets to, 100K, maybe these, RV companies or somebody will start reaching out to actually do sponsorship. I promise you, once they realize you filmed a video in your birthday suit and you panned around the refrigerator that way, I don't think there's going to be many companies that are going to want to align themselves with you. Well, there might be some, but it's not the ones you're hoping for, Tim. Not as a good Christian man like you are. Hey.
Thank you.
Full of apologies.
On every video I make.
Sorriness.
To stick it in their face. Those people that can't get more than 1,000 subscribers through their hate. So help me out. Join me. Join me in continuing the kindness and the Christianity world and loving God and being nice to our neighbors, even if you don't know God or you're not a Christian, you believe in something else, but you're a moral person. You would never stoop to the fact of putting something ugly and nasty on the internet about your neighbor or fellow human being and sit there laughing about it. I mean, that's just God. There's got to be a special place for them in Judgment Day. So anyway, folks, help me out. That's the answer to what happened. Don't believe anything you're watching or seeing. It's all bull. And tomorrow we're going to go golfing and crush it.
Yeah, I don't think anyone cares that you're going to be crushing it there, Tim. And, the fact that you're talking about just going out golfing just shows you have no sense of taking any type of culpability for the fact that you posted your birthday suit reflection in the refrigerator out for all of your audience to see. And yet everybody else is vulgar and everybody else is the problem. All right. If you did like this type of content, make sure to subscribe because that's a great way to show Tim how much you love us who try to look at content creators and figure out what are they doing? Who are these people? Why do people follow these people that have, I know they have life experience, but Tim was a car salesman before he became, whatever he was when he then, started to make a YouTube channel originally about his RV, his RAV4, I think his truck. Sorry. And then he, like I said, hit gold with that Social Security video. And he has just been, I think it's gotten to his head a little bit. And he's still like 40,000 from his 100K. And obviously he feels this incident is going to affect him. I think his numbers were going down anyway because his content is not imaginative. It's just him filming himself repeatedly with whatever activity. It would be literally like me grabbing a camera and all I did and not doing the content I do talking about health disorders and stuff. And just film me like, doing dishes and folding laundry and grabbing a cup of coffee from Panera Bread. And who wants to watch that all day? I mean, maybe there are some, but I mean, you're showing everything to your community, Tim, and you certainly show them everything this time. Anyway, like I said, if you like my content, hit the subscribe. This is a long video about Tim, but Tim is wild, man. All right, guys, we'll catch you on the next time. Talk to you later. Bye.